not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
5th, 1881. Jesse James was 34 years old.
Can't believe I'm sitting with none other than Jesse James. Many's the night I stayed up, my eyes open, my mouth open, just reading about your escapades. They're all lies, you know.
Thank you. It's a very slow film, so I'm going to take my sweet time as well, like the film does. It's a film that has this annoying I don't like voiceovers in films because I often think they're telling you if you do a voiceover, I think you're cheating, right? But for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to begin with the opening voiceover. Get ready. It's electric. Alright, here it is. He was growing into middle age. I'll try and put a little American twang in there, just to bring it to life. I've also wrote what I believe is my most cowboy-like shirt. Why have I done that? Just to bring it to life. He was growing into middle age, and was living then in a bungalow on Woodland Avenue. Thrilling! Hey, who wants to see the movie now? Alright, wait. And living then in a bungalow on Woodland Avenue. He had installed himself in a rocking chair. I mean, guys, I've installed fridges, I've installed washing machines, but I've never seen a man other than, you could argue that Stephen Hawking is installed in his chair. But I have never seen, for a reason, medical, actual purpose to that installation, isn't there? You know, you need to move around, but to install yourself in a rocking chair? I mean, where's the mobility? There's a lot of chairs in this film, it's quite interesting. A lot of the time there'll be a chair on screen and there's not even a person in there, just a chair hanging out. You know, a rocking chair in a haze of dust, a static chair in a haze of dust, you know, just chairs. One day I feel we'll be reflecting on the time when Brad Pitt is actually 3 levels beneath the chairs on the bill. Anyway, he's installed himself in a rocking chair. He installed himself in a rocking chair and smoked a cigar down in the evening as his wife wiped her pink hands on her apron and reported happily on their 2 children. His children knew his legs. Well, of course they did. He's installed in a rocking chair, you know. They're going to be very familiar with each other. This is a nice bit. And the sting of his mustache against his cheeks. They didn't know how their father made his living, or why they moved so often. Wow! Moving around whilst installed in a rocking chair. Hey, that's a racket down the street. I mean, you know, and there's a lot of bloody friction, you know, just to get somewhere, get from A to B. Anyway, he's installed in a rocking chair and he's moving around a lot. But get with this. Rooms seemed hotter when he was in them. Rains fell straighter, clocks slowed, sounds were amplified. It was not a journey. Every journey ends. But he went on. The world turned and he turned with it. Plans disappeared, dreams took over. But wherever he went, there he was. His luck, his fate, his fortune. Chanel number 5, inevitable. There is a kind of perfume quality to the whole thing, you know. It's all soft focus and, you know, some of that was actual. Did you see the lines? No. It's kind of interesting because in spite of it being it's not a grimy western, you know, there's no sense of smell in it, right? A man walks in on a woman defecating in a very well-lit, candle-lit outhouse, and they bloody get off with each other. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people doing the dirty on each other in this film, and that is only the first instance. It's true, it's about betrayal. I don't know, I pointed at you, guys, like you might betray me at any moment. Alright, that's interesting, but the film begins, right, with a robbery, right? And the voiceover says the gang, the James gang, had performed more than 25 robberies together. So that's 26 robberies. You know, I mean, guys, if I came over to you guys and someone came over to me and said, how many girls have you slept with? And I said, more than 2. You know, no one's going to gallop away from me shouting, hey guys, have you heard how many people Richard's fucked? His bedposts must be covered in so many notches for just sawdust and cum. I haven't actually got any bedposts, but the bed just didn't come with any. So, you can read into that what you will. Nothing, actually. I think it's quite good. When I see Brad Pitt, I think he's capable of exhibiting more tics than a SWAT's homework book. But in this film, that was like my... thanks. Thanks, yeah, it was a joke. Anyway, the fact is, the film's about Robert Ford. Robert Ford fancies himself as being equal to Jesse James, right? And he fancies Jesse James as being, well, like, he just fancies him. Really fancies him, you know. He wants to be exactly like him, you know. He marks out the similarities, you know. And kind of, and it's certain their fates will intertwine, you know. And then, like a wraith, which is... What? Does everyone know what a wraith is? Yeah, but it's a person's doppelganger that you witness just before the moment of death. Eerie. I hazard a guess that this doppelganger appears most of the time when someone's holding a mirror over your face just to see if you're breathing. Wow, it's me! Shit! Anyway, the fact is, he kind of wants his attention, and then, as a final bit to get his attention, he shoots him. Now, the thing is, if you're going to shoot someone to get their attention, make sure you don't shoot them through the head. Because then you're kind of just getting what you want, but immediately losing it at the same time. It's counterproductive. Alright. Does this feel like I've seen the film? Because I did watch it. Very dusty film. Dusty chairs. Anyway, the point is, I think it's got like a kind of religious kind of Jesus and Judas over like kind of thing going on, you know, where Jesse James starts grooming Robert Ford as his murderer almost, you know. He gifts him with a gun one day, a bloody good gun, just to make sure he shoots him properly. You know, not a gun that's going to bloody hit you in the kneecap and you turn around and say, why the hell did you do that? Proper one. Accurate. And I think if we're going to... I once tried to get the attention of a girl at junior school. I kicked her up the bum every day for about 1 month until the dinner teachers put a kind of restraining order on me. That you are not allowed within leg distance of that girl. You can talk to her, but you've got long legs, Richard, so we're going to put a meter restraining order on you. Anyway, ultimately, bloody good film. Bloody good film. Liked it a lot. Was pleased when I received the bloody mission. The mission statement, watch this film, watch all 3 hours of it, voiceover. You'll never realise how pointless a voiceover is until you see a man sipping a glass of water and the voiceover says, he sipped a glass of water. It's like an honest voiceover, you know, no pretensions. Just saying, it's like the Ron seal of voiceovers, you know. It says what it does on the tin, you know. Anyway, that's the conclusion. Thanks very much.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Ray, and I need me 8 soldiers. We're gonna be dropped into France, dressed as civilians. We're gonna be doing one thing only. killing Nazis.
Thank you. So I'm going to be talking about Inglorious Basterds. I'll be honest, I don't know why I was asked to do that. I don't really watch films. I'm more a kind of origami person, but I've done my best. I wanted to prove to you that I've done my research. So I've got all my stuff here. Like, so I watched the film. This is Inglorious Basterds, which is the film with Brad Pitt, obviously. I've also watched the film that it was based upon, the 1978 film, also called Inglorious Basterds. I borrowed my mother's copy of Mein Kampf as well. Because I wanted to do the research. It's kind of like I just ignored the annotations, you know. I didn't know my mum spoke German. Anyway, it's interesting that, but because it's kind of a prequel, isn't it, to Inglorious Basterds? Anyway, I mean, people say that Hitler's over, right? But this is flying off the shelves in Gaza. Okay, I can't say that apparently, but I'm not a racist. I've got tropical fish, for God's sake. Anyway, So I had a look at this, you know, because I thought it would be quite interesting to sort of have a flick through it. But basically, this book, by the way, is about this sort of deranged, kind of self-obsessed megalomaniac who just sits in his room, sort of plotting world domination and hating Jews, basically. So it's kind of like Mel Gibson's autobiography, if you've read that. It's a very similar kind of genre piece. So anyway, yeah. So Inglorious Basterds. So here we go. So it's a historical film, which Quentin Tarantino apparently makes a lot of historical films. The last film he made was called Django Unchained. I don't know if you saw that. It's about slavery. Do you know about this? Because actually, when it came out, he did an interview and he said that he was really proud of this film because it meant that finally slavery was back on the map. You know, and we could talk about that. And it's true actually, because in a way that there hadn't been any filmmakers who'd sort of gone towards the issue of slavery. You know, there hadn't been any films or books or a civil rights movement or anything like that. So, you know, we really are beholden to Quentin Tarantino, sort of. And he's done the same, hasn't he, for Inglorious Basterds, because it's about this thing called the Second World War. And until I watched the film, I hadn't even heard of the Second World War. So now that I'm very much I'm keyed up on it, you know, I understand what's going on. It's really interesting. Apparently, I think it's like a kind of documentary, actually, kind of thing. And I think it's important, actually, if you're going to do a film about these sort of sensitive issues, you know, films about, like, the Holocaust or slavery, you really need someone like Quentin Tarantino, who has that sort of level of nuance and subtlety. I think that's what you need. You need someone who's sort of a major fan of comic books and manga and B-movies. It requires that delicate touch. I think he's doing something about Rwanda next, which would be great. Really looking forward to that. So basically in the film, Brad Pitt plays Lieutenant Aldo Raine, and he's got this sort of crack squad of Jewish American soldiers, and they go and they kill a lot of Nazis. And as I say, it's very sort of true to life. And I didn't realise there was so much scalping going on in Europe at the time, and I didn't realise that the entire Nazi high command, including Hitler, were wiped out on a trip to the cinema. I didn't realise that either. So that's really good. You know, I'm glad that happened. That's nice. They should use this in schools, shouldn't they? As a kind of... Anyway, so and Brad Pitt's very impressive, you know, because he plays he's playing against type, isn't he, Brad Pitt? Because he's playing kind of aggressive, tough. And he's got like a scar. If you notice, he's got a scar all the way around his neck, and that sort of, I think, is meant to show that he's been through a lot. And he's been through a lot. Because I mean, that's an extra 2 hours in makeup right there, isn't it? So it's quite grueling. It really is. So anyway, now here's my problem with the film, and you can see this from looking at the DVDs. The original film, Inglorious Basterds, and then the remake misspelt both words, which I don't think is acceptable. Actually, I don't. I think that actually fucking annoys me. Because it just takes a bit of proofreading, doesn't it? I think if Brad Pitt had been on top of the ball, he would have known not to do it. Because, you know, it does matter, doesn't it? It matters to me. I broke up with my last boyfriend because he couldn't spell parallelogram, right? So this sort of shit matters. It really matters. And the problem is that, like, Brad Pitt's like a role model, isn't he? So it trickles down. It trickles down into society, doesn't it? Don't you think? I mean, it's like... I hear bad English all the time, and I think this is responsible. In fact, on my way here, I was on the train here, and I heard that announcement. You know that announcement you hear all the time? The train terminates here. No, I don't think it does. I think the journey terminates here. I think the train is probably going to live to see another day, isn't it? Unless you tell me that the train's going to explode at the station, in which case evacuate the train, you know, just sort of blithely announce that we're all about to perish. I think it is Brad Pitt's fault. I think it's shit like this that destroys our society, right? It's because of this, and him and Prince with their fucking text speak, like all of this stuff, nothing compares to you, fuck off, Prince. You fucking mixed race dwarf, fuck off. So I just think, like, all of this. So basically what I'm saying, my only message for tonight is I wish Brad Pitt would start working with people who could spell. Thank you very much, good night.
How do we know they're coming?
They're coming. Ready?
nice. It's good to be here for Brad Pitt night. I don't think he's coming. So yeah, we have to do with me and Leo Kurz, I'm afraid. So my film was World War Z. I've got to be honest, like I don't know if I should be offended or not. Like I'm trying really fucking hard to not interpret the choice of film that you're given as kind of indicative of where you sit on the comedic hierarchy. Do you know what I mean? Like we had Trevor Locke earlier. He was talking about 12 Monkeys. That's a fucking great film. It's one of my like top 5 films of all time. Then we had Harry Eldrick. Like he was talking about Seven. Seven's like a best in class kind of like horror thriller. They're both amazing comics. It gets to me and Alfie's just like, yeah, World War Z for you. That's what you get, Aid. And I gotta be honest, it's a fucking suitcase full of witless cow cunt. It's a dog shit film. It's just like, I tried to get into it, I really did. Like, on Sky On Demand, like you download it and you get like the first like a synopsis of it sort of thing. And it says, because like Brad Pitt's a UN envoy or something in it, and he has to leave his wife and kids, and he's got to go away and like find like an antidote to this zombie like viral thing that's going around. So he has to leave his like wife and kids. And the first line on this Sky like synopsis thing is like, a father has to leave his family for salvation. And I was like, well, this should be wicked. I didn't know my dad had a biopic. So it's a zombie flick. It's like a viral thing that goes around, and all of these fucking zombies are just brainless, fucking dead-eyed things, just going like just dead-eyed, gaunt thing. I think they filmed it in Slough. And I don't think it had the effect that it's supposed to on me. Like, I think for a zombie film, you're supposed to be a little bit scared, kind of thing. Like I see all these brainless, like dead-eyed, like like that. And as a drug user, I'm like, we should take some of that shit. That looks awesome. Like, your friend would come up to you at a party and just like, hey, you are fucked. I'd be like, I am legend. Yay! Zombie film reference? Yeah. All right, cool. We got that. And there's 2 types of zombies in this film, right? There's the human beings, like the makeup artist type kind of zombies, the actors, and then you've got the computer generated like image like version thereof. And there's a scene where Brad Pitt goes up the staircase, like, and he's going all the way, he's trying to find like a room to hide in. And as he's going up this staircase, this fucking computer-generated zombie like leaps out, and you're supposed to be scared of this fucking thing. It's supposed like leaps out, and you're supposed to go, oh, a zombie like that. But it's just this pixelated fucking cute computer thing. Like I'm just like it leaps out, and like my girlfriend's like, oh, like that, and I'm just like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to start this level again. It's bullshit. And I've got a theory, like there's only 2 ways that this movie could have been made. Like, because Brad Pitt's done some pretty good movies, like he's got a nice catalogue behind him. I just don't understand like why he would have kind of opted into this fucking dog shit piece of trash zombie movie. It just doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think, like I like this idea that like Angelina Jolie is his wife, and she's an actual UN fucking ambassador, right? And she does amazing work. She's like a heroine, and she goes away and like adopts children from fucking troubled countries and stuff. She's campaigning against rape in war zones. It's fucking amazing, some of the stuff that she does. And I love this idea that Brad Pitt's just his dumb, beautiful, angry husband, and he's just like, and you're a UN ambassador, I want to be a UN ambassador. And she's just like, it's alright, Brad, it's alright. No more tears, Brad. No more tears. Just settle down. These 2 nice Jewish men, they want you to be like a UN guy that just goes and fights zombies. And then Brad's like, oh, okay. I love that shit. And my one redeeming feature about this fucking film is that when they're looking for the cure, right, they don't find a cure or like an antidote or a vaccine or anything. So what they find is that the zombies, once you're infected with the virus, that if you have once you're infected with a terminal illness, like the zombies, they can sense that, and then they won't attack you. They just ignore you. You're invisible to the zombies if you have a terminal illness. So this becomes a solution that they inject each other like with like a very small amount of a terminal illness, and then that's it. Like they're invisible to all of them, and then the zombies just walk. And it really it's inspiring to me because I'm just like, I wish there was a fucking thing like that for just normal people. You know? Like where your friend comes up to you and starts telling you they're just bullshit stories. They're just, I got fired from my job. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they're just like, I think my wife might be cheating on me. Oh, right, okay, that's really interesting. I think my cancer's coming back. Oh, Jesus, all right. I've been A. Thompson. You guys have been nice. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
closing off the show. Make some noise, please. A little bit more. Closing off the Brad Pitt career review.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?